A new era in mobility as the entire automotive world's focus shifts to battery electric vehicles. And after hearing about everyone's plans for BEVs, now we are seeing the products. And they're credible, capable, and clever. The car a lot of people are talking about, in particular all over the world, is the Hyundai IONIQ 5. The retro modern looks, the large airy cabin, the obvious tech, and terrific performance make this a very strong player on the EV stage globally. I am very excited to test this car in Germany as part of my duties on the jury for G-Coti, or German Car of the Year. I am happy to report that the IONIQ 5 has already bagged the award in the New Energy subcategory. That also means it is a finalist for the overall honor of 2021 G-Coti. The car looks absolutely superb. I loved its retro looks at first sight, and yet they are still finished off in a very contemporary design style. And while its proportions may fool you into thinking it's a small car, it is bigger than a Creta and even the Tucson. Now, of course, it's a modern look, but there's something very digital about it in some senses. Just the way you look at it, you also get absolutely no sense of any prior Hyundai model. Also, none of the prior IONIQ models either. Well, to be fair, Hyundai says the design is inspired by its very first car, the Pony, from the mid-70s. But I just don't see it. The pixel look taillights, the sexy LED signature for the lights up front, and the sharp cuts and angles in the side flanks are a very specific look that the IONIQ 5 boasts. But it is the cabin that really gets a lot of attention. Two large 12.3-inch screens combine to form the majority of the dash and give the car a sexy display panel. The graphics and quality of that screen are excellent. A lot of the info layout and functionality is identical to the screens on the Kia EV6. And that's no surprise because they are twins in some ways. But the IONIQ 5 has a larger cabin. The screens are standard across all variants. Connectivity and smartphone charging options abound, and the cabin feels nice and techy overall. The layout is almost Scandinavian in its minimalism, and the quality of the seats, materials, and overall cabin are top-notch. I am very impressed. The central console between the front seats can slide backwards to offer more space for storage. The IONIQ 5 has three broad variants in terms of its powertrain options. The rear-wheel drive variant has a single 125 kilowatt motor and a 58 kilowatt-hour battery, 168 bhp and 350 Nm of torque, and a drive range of 384 kilometers. The more powerful variant is the 72.6 kilowatt-hour with 215 bhp and a whopping 480 kilometers drive range. And then there's the all-wheel drive with two motors, with 605 Nm of peak torque, 235 to 300 bhp options, and the range, well, it starts at 360 kilometers. On the road, the car feels bigger than the Kia EV6, even though they are similar in terms of the actual dimensions. And the main reason is a marginally bigger wheelbase. So while performance is not as sporty, it is still very good. Put it into sport mode and the character changes right away. Yes, it all stiffens up. You have a nicer, tighter steering feel. And of course, it goes faster. The response is definitely a lot quicker. It gives you a sense of urgency which you really want when you want to put it into sport mode. That yes, I'm ready for performance. What I especially love about the IONIQ 5 is that while Hyundai isn't even pretending this is an SUV, the seating position will rival many soft-roaders. So you sit nice and tall and get a great view of the road, and yet the car handles like a hatch. The strength of this platform for the group really, and of course therefore for the IONIQ 5, is a lot of the drive dynamics are sort of baked in. And that's going to hold it in good stead because there's going to be a lot of modularity, different body styles coming out on this. But the car's pretty on point on handling. Yes, the upcoming IONIQ 3 and 4 will be a hoot if this is anything to go by. And can we expect any of this to come our way? Yes, Hyundai is studying the feasibility of launching this car as a niche flagship offering in India, one that would play the role of brand shaper more than anything else. And don't forget, Hyundai is one of the few brands to at least launch a proper global EV in India when it gave us the Kona Electric. So I do hope the IONIQ 5 makes it sooner than later to the Indian market. There is already one on static display at Hyundai India's headquarters. The main thing that excites me about the IONIQ 5 is how far Hyundai has come and the sheer strength of the company's capability. So, here's hoping